Hey, it's Aaron, and today I want to talk about the Lexus LX, specifically the 700H, but the LX in general as well. So the LX is Lexus's, whatever. It's their big three-row SUV. It's a full-size SUV. It has long been one of my favorites ever since it appeared, more or less, and it's just a really nicely done vehicle. This is the fourth generation for the LX. This generation debuted in 22. I see some refresh and updates this year. So most of those are cosmetic. You don't see a whole lot of change. Otherwise, there is some change to some of the infotainment and some other stuff, all for the better. Honestly, the LX is a serious, beefy SUV. It is big, it is heavy, it is a truck in family format. And that's, to me, what an SUV should be. So, yeah, it feels a little big and top heavy on corners, but only if you're really pushing it and you're driving a giant SUV. Why are you trying to drive fast? Just float down the road and get to where you're going. Nothing's an obstacle for you anymore. There's no reason to pretend that you're in Le Mans or some, Anyway, it accelerates very well, especially this hybrid. This hybrid 700H model has a lot of torque early because you have those electric motors doing their thing, and it's fairly efficient. Now, this is a big, heavy SUV. Don't expect to get, like, stellar. This isn't a Prius. You're not going to get stellar MPGs out of it, but on the highway, you'll probably be in the 20s, the early 20s, most of the time. And it feels really good. My only big complaint with this is actually just the safety stuff. Lexus has a history of being a little overzealous with how their safety equipment handles things. And this is a really good example where it's beeping at you all the time because this or that feels like it's half a mile away and the thing's acting like it's right in front of you. It's like driving with your skittish mother-in-law or something, somebody who's just constantly grabbing the dash like you're going to die all the time. It's really annoying. Luckily, if you dig through the infotainment, you can find a way to suppress some of that a little bit, but in the end, super annoying. Other than that, I have no complaints. I really enjoy this thing. It has a usable third row, like real people can sit in it. Huge amounts of cargo space. It's big, it's floaty, so if you're looking for that sport drive, this isn't your car. But again, why are you looking at a giant SUV if you want sporty, if you think you're going to race? That's not a thing. It's big, it's luxurious, it's comfortable, it's confident. It has all the stuff you want, all the adjectives you expect. So it's just really nicely done. I have seen some people that complain about the cargo space. I don't know what they're complaining about. The cargo space to me was gigantic. Plenty of it back there. Now, if you're using the third row on the regular, sure, that cargo space is pretty cramped. But I can't name a vehicle that has a third row where the third row is up that has a whole lot of cargo space back there. You're not gonna fit your refrigerator back there if you got 3 rows of occupants. I don't care what the vehicle is. Anyway, I really, really like this one. I think Lexus did a very good job. It's also surprisingly good off-road, even with the crap street tires that it had. So the one that I drove had these street tires on it. They were not off-road tires. There's no AT on them at all, but it still did pretty well on almost medium-duty off-road. So most of the off-road you can expect somebody who owns something like this to do, this will be more than capable of doing. You'll get to the lake, you'll get to the cabin, you'll get to whatever. It's really great. So yeah, very few complaints about this. Now let's talk about pricing. Pricing is not cheap. So the cheapest model of this is the Overtrail, which is actually what I drove, and that's about $116,000. So that's the lowest end of the 700H. You get the F Sport, that's about $3,000 or so more. You get in the luxury model, that's $125,000, so the $120,500. These are before deliveries, and then If you want the ultra luxury, which I'm glad that it has a name like that, because if you're going to spend this kind of money, you really want to have a name like that, that's 142. So not a cheap vehicle, but if you're cross shopping, this is comparable with the Escalade. This is comparable with the, who else got a giant SUV in this category? Escalade's always my go-to when I'm thinking of these, but there's a ton of other ones. I'm sure Ford has one, but nobody cares about Lincoln anymore, I guess. I know there's BMW X7 or something. You can cross shop all of those with this, and they're all going to be in the 6 digits. So beautifully done. I really like this. Really nicely done. So Lexus did a good job on it. If you're looking more for a family orientation, Lexus has the TX, which is a similar size, but is a lot more family oriented. Better interior for that, and a more day-to-day and a much lower price tag. So anyway, yeah, that's the 2025 Lexus LX. Damn, that's a nice SUV. Anyway, all right, this has been Aaron. Talk to you again soon.